Welcome to Black Lion Network. So today we're actually going to talk about marketing and sales, and this is a 7-minute lecture. How to do this one specific to those of you that are in live streaming and you haven't quite figured out the best way for you to put forward information regarding your products while co-hosting. And so I really want to share this information with you today. It matters to me a lot. All right. And so in doing that, we're actually going to talk about marketing versus sales, and it's a friendly invite. All right. That's what it is. The friendly invite. All right. So here we are. What marketing looks like. All right. So we're going to talk about the lemonade stand. We've all heard the proverbial lemonade stand. All right. So you set up the free lemonade stand on a hot day. You put up the sign, you point to it, and you trust people to decide for themselves. That's it. You're bringing awareness to it. And we're not going to get too deep into this. It is just important for you to understand the difference. So you go, hey, here's something cool if you want it. The link is in the bio. The link is right here. You're not chasing. You're not convincing. No chasing, no convincing when it comes to marketing. Just pure, respectful awareness building. That's it. You're letting the audience lead themselves. So in marketing, you're creating awareness and you're respecting boundaries. That is it. That literally is what's happening in marketing. So how did we get here today? There was this scenario that happened while I was live streaming. Yeah, this was hot off the press. Meeting some people for the new time, talking about this new audiobook that I have out, which is specific to a chapter in my book, Success is Subjective. So I'm saying, hey, I have this available. It's a free audio. I was trying to balance putting out a full audiobook of Success is Subjective. And so I came to a compromise. So here's a free audio lecture. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify or anywhere you listen to podcasts. This is what I'm saying while we're co-hosting. And if you're interested, right, definitely go grab that link. And then if you want to study further, then that's different. That's beyond a paywall. The study guide for live streaming. But for everybody else, you bought the book, we have a free study guide for you. Real simple. So one of the co-hosts says, hey, I like your sales pitch. Not sure why they felt the need to call it out, but these are just the facts. So I said, well, I don't sell. I'm not a salesperson, actually. I'm bad at that because I'm not going to overcome your nose. This is what you promote. Yep, absolutely. That I'm known for. First women to even create tournaments in live streaming. So yes, absolutely that. Well, we ended up down this path that brought us here. All right? So they are just not the same thing because it expanded into another person who's the sales, who call themselves a salesperson, to identify such and say everybody's a salesperson. But they're not the same thing. And understanding the difference is the key to not burning out, not annoying your community, and building something that actually lasts. So I want to break this down to you. I already gave you the scenario. All right? And why this happens because we had two completely different philosophies at play. All right? So let's go to the next one. All right? And this is why philosophies clash, right? Because at the end of it, the co-host politely kind of rage quit. Gotta go and use some choice words. But I need you to stay focused when you're live streaming. 1, you define you. Always define yourself. Always stay on brand. Control your brand. Doesn't matter who the the other person is, even if they're in a position of authority, you control your brand always. Always. Here we are. As the marketer, you say, hey, I market. I don't chase or overcome objections. If you don't want it, cool. That's how you tell that someone is merely bringing awareness to a product. Okay? Now the salesperson, all right, they will say, that's not selling. You're not really a salesperson. You have to get to it. While I'm delivering this message live, a friend of mine, I just noticed, is in my stream, and his name is Think Free, and he says, I'm the biggest on the app. That is how he has chosen to brand himself, and that's how he markets himself from the day I met him in live streaming. But this is what I'm talking about. You must know the difference. If you're in live streaming also is a business, right? You are an influencer. Eventually, brands will come to you. You must know the difference between marketing and selling. All right? Okay. Now, in the scenario that we talked about, when the person identifies as a salesperson says, well, after all of this, I guess you're really not a salesperson and marketer, which was me, says, yeah, told you that. All right? I believe in attraction and not persuasion. Don't need to do that. My books talk about self-leadership. So I apply that all over. Salespersons are great. You need the marketing and you need the salesperson. Do not misunderstand the distinction being made here. But when you're in live streaming, you need to promote your products. You need to bring awareness to it. And you need to figure out at what point in time sales will occur. All right? So being pushy will kill your community trust. You bring awareness. You want to have that trust when someone chooses to come into your live, someone chooses to have you on their screen, no hard selling. So let's continue with this. Here's some stuff for future debates. But before we even get there, I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. All right? So to all you creators out there, here's the bottom line. Marketing is you saying, the free audiobook is in the link if you want it. Sales is you trying to talk someone into clicking it after they've already said no thanks. Understand the difference. Both are important in business. But on a live stream, marketing is usually the king. Not asking you, I'm telling you. It builds trust. It respects boundaries. And it attracts the right people who actually want what you have. You want super fans, guys. That's why you're doing this. That's why you're here. So you don't have to be a pushy salesperson. You are a creator who markets. Remember the difference. You don't ever have to rage quit your own stream or another stream. None of that matters. All right. So if you're ever in this kind of debate again, you can explain it a couple of ways. You can say to the person, I market, you sell. Think of it like fishing. I just throw the bait. You wrestle a shark. Vivid. Another one, just to make sure you're reaching people the right way. The classy one. Marketing and sales aren't the same. I open the door. It's their choice to walk in. Because the salesperson is going to convince them to walk in. That there's also that. And then, a little bit more savage would be the marketer, work to be chosen, while the other one, the salesperson, work to convince. And that's just a fact. And I know some salespersons are going to write under this YouTube post and say, that's not true. You did it so simple. There's more than that. You're not convincing anything. We're overcoming objections. I get it. I understand the terminologies. But still, this is where we are. All right? So you were listening to Marketing versus Sales, the great live stream debate. And I just feel like it was very important to bring this to your attention. Now, if you have anything to add to this, right? Anything at all that you want to add to this, go ahead and do that. Right here, under this posting. I want you to do that. Because I'm sure that the simplistic way that I did this, and I just wanted to do a quick screen, guys. I'm sure that the simplistic way that I did this, some folks are going to say it's a little bit more in depth than that. But I genuinely wanted to address when you're in live streaming. I wanted to address folks that I know for sure are so new to this, like really so new to this, that there's just no way they will have a proper understanding of the difference. You get what I'm saying? And I wanted to ensure that in covering this, and I did this very quickly, that in covering this, people get it, right? That's what I wanted. So I want to end by saying this. You define you. How you define yourself is how you confine yourself. I am Dr. Alicia Marie Phidd. I'm the author of Success is Subjective. So yes, you lead you. And here's my marketing. If the lion can read my book, so can you. It's available everywhere books are sold. And that's my mic drop. Roar with you soon.